Well, the show's over, and it's time to find out who won. As always, here on the Medieval Massacre, I'm joined by Craven Gaming. We have booked it. Let's see how well we did. It is WWE Hell in a Cell 2016. And it was fucking amazing.
It was, actually. I was surprised, to be honest.
Legitimately, I think this might be one of the best, if not the best, pay-per-view of the year.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember WrestleMania. I'm like, okay, you had the elevated RKO, which I think was this year. No, that was last year.
Oh, yeah, that was a while ago.
God, that was hurt. Wow. What the hell happened this year? Triple H and Roman Reigns and stuff.
Right, yeah, so we don't talk about that.
Okay.
But this was from start to finish really good. The main event was... We'll get to that. But we're going to start off with the pre-show match, the Cruiserweight six-man tag team match. Lince Dorado,
Sin
Cedric
Cara.
Alexander, and Sin Cara versus Arya Daivari, Drew Gulak, and Tony Nese.
Yeah. I'll start this one off by saying I don't really know too much about the Cruiserweights. I've said this, I'll keep saying it until I actually decide to watch a shit ton of it, or probably try to rewatch the entire Cruiserweight Classic or something, I don't know. But I will say that I was actually impressed for what I saw, and Gulag or Nese, I don't remember which one it was, whoever was pulling the weight for that half the team was insane.
Yeah, and, you're right.
And Daivari's intro music, what the hell?
Daivari's intro music and Gulak's intro music I thought were really fucking cool. I got kind of hyped.
Yeah, that was both great.
Let me talk about something for a second, because this pissed me off as soon as they fucking started talking about it.
Yep.
We got 3 main events tonight.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
No.
You don't get 3 main events.
No, when they first said that, I'm just like, that's wrong.
And one of them doesn't get to be the opener.
Yeah, no, especially that. You could have just left the cage down and just in, out.
I get that they are the titular Hell in a Cell matches, but the last match of the night is the main fucking event.
Yeah. Anyways, back to this match.
Back to this match.
Is there anything you thoroughly enjoyed about this match? Aside from the fact, it's Cruiserweights, it's going to be a lot more fast-paced than what we're used to and stuff like that.
I made a couple of notes here on Twitter, which, by the way, you can follow me over at Time for a Massacre, numerical 4, to see me live tweet these Hell in a Cell matches, these WWE special events, and over at the Craven Gaming, he does it as well.
Whenever I'm home.
I said Rich Swann should have been in this match instead of Sin Cara.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Rich Swann was in the arena, he was being interviewed by the quote-unquote panel of quote-unquote experts.
Yeah, which now has become the Hall of Famer panel.
The Hall of Famer panel featuring Renee Young.
Yeah, featuring the interviewer.
Cedric Alexander did not take part in the match until the halfway point.
Yeah, which was kind of poop.
Tony Nese at one point went for a pump handle slam on Sin Cara and fucked it up hard.
Yeah. There's a couple things, I don't know if you noticed, but it was in the replay earlier when they were like, oh yeah, this is what happened in the pre-show. But when Sin Cara, Cedric, Alexander, and Dorado all decided to dive out of the top rope, thinking Cedric whiffed.
Yeah, he went right over the head of the guy.
He brushed the shoulder. The guy's like, wow.
He did he flew like you wouldn't believe. That man can do a tope con hilo like you wouldn't believe. But my God, there was just not enough room.
He whiffed it so much.
But
I caught that the second.
Later on in the match, I'm pretty sure Cedric Alexander threw. Who did he pin now?
I think it was Daivari, because
I think it might have been Daivari. It was either Daivari or Tony Nese, but
yeah, the lumbar check was insane.
I'm pretty sure he threw him up with the Force. And then he lumbar checked him into another dimension.
Now, there's something I want to mention before we go on to the next match.
Yeah, go for it.
It's the first time I've ever seen it, or at least like knowingly seen it. But the Dragon Sleeper hold.
Oh, that thing looks fucking horrible, doesn't it?
It looked amazing. I like that. Right
yeah,
there.
like horrible in that, like it looks like it hurts.
Yeah, it looks like it hurts. And even when Dorado, I think, broke it up, I'm like, you like leg dropped. And I swear to God, you could have snapped your freaking teammate's arm.
I was gonna say you could have snapped his teammate's neck.
That too.
Like, okay, great. I'm really glad that everybody had, like, some serious ring awareness. The Cruiserweight division is really underrated, in my opinion, and I did watch the Cruiserweight Classic. I know what these guys are capable of.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see what two more of the Cruiserweights are capable of later on. But just this division is fucking
on fire.
Amazing.
Yeah, it is. I want to see what they can do. Like, I want to see more.
So after the Cruiserweight match, we cut back to the social media lounge, where a 10-year-old boy who put on his dad's suit is interviewing the WWE Tag Team Champions, The New Day.
Are you saying the 10-year-old guy in his dad's suit because of my Twitter?
No, actually, fucking Little Karibo's been making that joke on his Mark Remark.
Oh, okay.
Like, way beforehand. But God, is it ever so true.
Or you, like, even how I worded it, which was like, he's that kid in high school that always got picked on, and now he's just there taking the shit, even in WWE.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, he gets shit kicked on by everybody.
And, of course, the New Day wastes no time in just fucking with them.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's hard to tell when they get interviewed as the heel or face, because I swear to God, they are such heel interviewees.
My dude, it's kind of difficult to see during their matches whether they're heel or face.
Yeah, it's like, I cannot tell what you are.
They're the New Day, yes they are.
That too, yeah.
Also, Double Dash confirmed for Best Mario Kart. Baby!
Yes. Which was great. It was great. It was amazing.
Now I kind of want to play Double Dash, but I don't own the game.
Neither do I, and I have a way to play GameCube games at least.
Yeah, same here. I got my way.
Same. There was something on my Twitter I have to use for later. I'm trying to find that now. You can continue talking.
Okay, so they play the first vignette, basically, to build up the Hell in a Cell match between Charlotte and Sasha. Which is fucking great. Like, the build-up to Hell in a Cell, that Hell in a Cell match, was probably one of my favorites. Like, Mick Foley doing that promo about what the Cell did to him.
Yeah, it was great.
It was so great. It was so emotional. And then Booker T happened.
Shucky fucky.
It immediately turns back, and Booker T is like, "Oh yeah, man, that is why it's my shucky ducky quack quack moment of the week." And I'm like, I fucking hate you. You took the Hell in a Cell. Like, I thought Renee Young calling it, what does she call it, gnarly?
Yeah.
Earlier, she was like, It's fucking gnarly. I'm like, you are like 8,000 years old. But, like, I thought that was bad, but then he's like, nah, man, we're gonna talk about the demonic structure, the biggest fuck you in wrestling history. We gotta shuck it, duck it, duck it, duck it, quack, quack it. And I'm like, would you fuck right off?
He's a drunk uncle, I swear to God.
Now let me tell you about the Hell in a Cell.
When did he turn into picking Bill Cosby?
Shut up. Let me tell you about the Hell in a Cell. Hey, I shucky fucking all over that bitch. Yo, use the hashtag shuckyfucky every time Booker T fucks something up.
And book it.
Book it. I want to fucking get this trending. So, the next match is the opener.
The opening match.
Yes, the Hell in a Cell match between the Bulgarian Brute Rusev and
versus
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
You do get why I put that, right?
Oh, yeah. Because she, like, stuttered.
She didn't stutter, she choked.
That too.
Like, Lana comes out... By the way, Lana's got her own music, and it's fucking great.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, when Lana comes out, you think she's coming out with fucking nuclear codes.
It's more
like,
intimidating.
If Rusev does not win title, I will blow Boston to shit.
It's more intimidating than Rusev's music.
It is, right? Da, 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 da. Like, no. Fucking when Lana comes out, bitches hold their breath.
It's fucking Pirates of Caribbean. Da, 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 da.
But she's like, I will introduce my husband, the Bulgarian buildings in the Rusev. Come out here.
Save me from my disaster.
Save me from my own accent. I cannot hold this accent for too long. Did you see, by the way, she's in a new movie with Edge?
Yes.
And everybody's like, wow, Lana can do an American accent really well. And I'm
like, Lana can speak.
And I'm like, really? It's almost like the American accent is her natural fucking accent.
It's almost like she's from California. Holy shit.
Oh, God.
Anyways, do you want to start this one off since I started off the Cruiserweight one?
Yeah, sure. Rusev has mutton chops.
God damn.
I can't fucking unsee it, dude. He's got
No, you are right. You're right. Because he's missing that little bit in the middle. He has mutton chops.
He's got fucking mutton chops, my dude, and it's the dumbest thing.
When I saw your tweet about that, because of your grandpa, I was going to say it's almost like the Battle of the Presidents, but then I was trying to think of a president that had long hair, and I had nothing.
No. This was a good match.
It was. Like, for an opening match and for being a Hell in a Cell match, I mean, I have each... Oh, wait, I forgot to mention this. I have each match here written down on, like, a scale of, like, 5 stars. Just throwing back to the Cruiserweight match we had, I gave it a 3 out of 5 just because it could have been better. So much better, in my opinion.
It was a clusterfuck match. It was perfect for a pre-show.
Yeah, it had more than 2 people, so the ref couldn't control shit.
Right.
Which, I always have that bone. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of clusterfuck matches myself.
Yeah, so onto this match. The first thing that I have written down was Michael Cole's wrong call when I believe they were on the apron, or maybe even in the middle of the ring, I don't fucking know anymore. But Rusev gave like a very powerful clothesline to Roman Reigns' chest, and Michael Cole was just like, oh, and Reigns caught him with a clothesline to the chest. I'm like, damn it, Michael, you had one job. Like, no.
How do you even mix up Reigns and Rusev? Like,
Ruru
and Roro?
Now, there's another thing I want to throw in before I completely forget about, which I'm not going to forget about because I've written down anyways.
Uh-huh.
But if you guys don't know, which you should, I swear to God, that Kara and I both played Pokemon, you should know about Arceus, or Arceus, or whatever. I'm going to say that Roman Reigns is Arceus.
Yeah, there's no fucking way. I called bullshit when he fucking got out of the Accolade with the chain.
No, I'm saying he's Arceus for another reason aside from being a god by doing that, which was, which is, so he's worn gold, he's worn red, he's worn like silverish white, he's worn blue.
Are you saying that he gains power from his plates?
Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh my god. Stay tuned for the next Raw exclusive pay-per-view, or stay tuned for Survivor Series, when Spooky Plate Roman Reigns is going to come out.
No, that should have been this month because it's October.
Oh,
should
that's
have been
true.
orange.
Well, no, oh yeah, I know, it's going to be November by the time...
Yeah, November 20th.
So Flame Plate.
Yeah, Flame Plate Roman.
Flame Plate Roman. And then in December it'll be Ice Plate Roman.
Yeah, Icicle Plate.
Icicle Plate.
Yeah. I also have the Accolade written down with the chain as well, but you already covered that. So moving near.
No, I actually have another point to make.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read off my tweet here. Way to slow down the footage so we can see Rusev jumping backwards for the Superman punch like a goddamn Looney Tunes character.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, that was... I mean, those counters were insane. Like, absolutely fucking mental.
Oh, counters for days.
if again SmackDown versus Raw 2007 all over again.
It's true. For those of you who don't know, and that's pretty much everybody, I'm actually doing a casual GM mode versus in SmackDown vs. Raw 07. It's not being recorded, it's just kind of like a fun thing.
Yeah.
And Craven is the general manager of SmackDown.
Yes. Also, I don't forget this, I just saw on my Twitter. When Rusev first pulled out the chain, I went to Twitter, and I'm like, hey, John Cena, you left your Dr. Thugonomics chain under the ring again. Clean up after yourself.
How fake did that chain look?
Bad.
It, like, really, they zoomed in on the chain, and I'm like, you guys didn't even spray that chain properly.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's plastic.
Or like aluminum or something.
Like, something like that, but I'll tell you right now, it's not steel.
No, because like you heard it jingle a bit, so you know it was some sort of like weak metal, maybe tin or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely wasn't a steel chain or whatever.
This is a small thing, but I think it actually really helps Rusev's character. When he pulls out the chain, he immediately bites on it.
Yeah, like that. It was great. It's just like, yeah.
Not only did that make him look strong, like he's a fucking animal, but he is like, yes. This metal is strong enough for Rusev to punch. Rusev Machka.
Basically. So, before we move on, as I said, I have every match rated out of 5. This actually got a 4 out of 5. Would have been a 5 out of 5, but they didn't really incorporate what a Hell in a Cell match is.
No, it felt more like a
from the
hardcore
chain.
match.
Yeah, aside from the chain and the stairs, they didn't use... and a kendo stick. Kendo. Words. Kendo stick. They didn't really do much.
Yeah,
so like
I thought that the match between him and Bray Wyatt in last year's Hell in a Cell was actually better.
Yeah. So another thing before we move on, it's such a small thing, but I actually kind of liked it, is you actually saw Roman Reigns get tied up in the ropes instead of half the time where you just like blink and hey, look, they're tied up.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was blink. Oh, and he's out of the ropes.
Yeah. That was just like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah, there was no camera angle on that. I kind of actually half expected the Bray Wyatt, like, and he's just out of the ropes.
Oh, basically is what happened, actually.
That would have been fucking great. So yeah,
Next
really
match?
good match.
Yeah.
Great setup for the pay-per-view.
Very, yeah. Like, nothing wrong. I couldn't find, like, much to botch on it. Like, it was nice.
Yeah, great outing to both men. The right man went over, I think. I think Roman Reigns should have retained.
Yep.
Hopefully this ends Hell in a Cell is where feuds go to die.
Yes.
So hopefully, Survivor Series can ignite some new feuds.
Yeah.
And Rusev and Ruru and Roro can go their separate ways.
Yeah, really. Can I introduce this next one?
You can.
So, next up, we have what I almost called the piss break, but then Massacre decided to tell me no because of one of the competitors. Bayley versus Dana Brooke. Which, I mean, I put this on Twitter as well, in case people need to decide to know things, because, hey, why not? For those who are slightly curious, which I'm always curious on the very minuscule things that nobody gives a shit about, is if you needed a size comparison to how tall the ropes come up onto somebody, Dana Brooke's about 5'3". So she gets like just to her chin-ish area above the ropes. So I was thinking maybe the ropes are elevated to about 4'10", which is about the same size as the apron itself. Fun fact.
Yeah, that is a fun fact. Another fun fact: Dana Brooke looked nice.
She always looks mediocre to nice. I like the gold instead of the purple.
And I like the black lipstick too.
Yeah. Now, I don't have much to say about this match, but there is one thing that I kind of liked, and it happened pretty early on. It was when she had Bayley into the corner and she did like a handstand heel push against the chin.
Right.
I'm just like, it's so simple, but it looks so nice.
Yeah, it was actually really good. Like, again, this match was really good.
At
least I thought so. I was like, it showed Dana looking very strong. It showed Bayley looking very resilient, and, you know,
Yeah.
Bayley powers through her injury, and she gets the Bayley to Billy, and she wins.
Yeah, like, it was exactly what it was supposed to do, and exactly what it was supposed to be. But to me, it was just like, it was there.
Shout out to the guy in the audience that yelled out, "She ain't hype,"
Yep.
because that was actually really fucking cool.
Yeah, so anything else you want to say about this before I give off my rating?
Oh, yes I do, actually, because you get to call Michael Cole on his bullshit, and so do I.
Oh god, I still have more.
Bayley goes for her, like, off-the-ropes running clothesline to a seated opponent that she normally does, and Michael Cole calls it a row-lunning clothesline.
Yep, he tripped up AR.
not a low-running clothesline, a row-lunning clothesline. Was it, Michael? Was it Millie? Was it really?
Was it Millie?
Was it Millie? Was
Now
it
you're
Millie
doing
Vanilli?
it.
We're moving on.
Yeah. This is your... Oh, by the way, 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5? Yeah, I can see that.
Like, I'm like, okay, it was good. Considering who was in it and what it was for, I'm like, alright. But then
legitimately the closest thing to a piss break match we'd have in the pay-per-view. And even then, for a piss break match, if you didn't have to pee and you sat down and watched the match, it was good.
Yeah. Like, your piss came shorter than you thought it would. Hey, look, you got it like a decent part of the match.
So, the next match... actually, was this when we cut back to the segment...
Like, I don't have cutbacks in my freaking notes.
You do in your Twitter, though. That's why I'm seeing it.
Oh.
There's a backstage segment with...
Stephanie and Mick.
Stephanie
right?
and Mick with Chris Jericho.
Yes.
And Jericho's the fucking greatest.
And I said that the list of Jericho was eggs, milk, but I mean Mick Foley interrupting me.
Jericho's the only person who can get a clipboard with a list over on the audience. So, just GG to Chris. Like, I hate ever looking at Stephanie McMahon's face.
Like, she's trying to be a face GM, or like a face whatever the fuck she's called.
Yeah, she's a face GM, but a heel character.
No, because Mick Foley's the GM. She's like the... I forgot what they called her. Whatever.
She owns the shit.
Yeah, basically, whatever the fuck you want to call that. But yeah, it's just like, no, you can't go from being a total bitch for like 2 years with Seth Rollins to doing like, yes, everything is possible, sunshine, rainbows, yay.
Yeah, it's just...
Stop.
I don't like Stephanie, man.
Yeah. So...
then I guess I have to introduce the next people, so let me say... His name is Enzo Amore, and he is a certified G and a bona fide stud. You can't teach that.
Versus?
Well,
we know who
his tag team power. His tag team, this is Big Cass, and he's like 6'10", but we're going to say 7 feet tall.
And you can't teach that either.
And you can't teach that either. And he's going up against Big Gal and Andy.
Which... Literally, the only note I have for this match is those nicknames in all caps.
Those nicknames.
Because that made me laugh and smile way too much.
So, first off, Enzo and Cass come out and they basically cut a promo. They call them Big Gal and Andy. They make a lot of references to baseball in Boston. They pander to the crowd. It's great.
Are you going to say what I think you're going to say, or are you going to go into the match?
I was going to talk about the Toy Story reference.
Oh, I was going to do that too.
If you want to go ahead and do that, go ahead.
Cool. I'm going to say, out of like all of their banter that Enzo and Cass ever do, this has to be like one of my favorite lines Enzo's ever said about how Big Cass is going to have to paint Andy on the back of his foot because that's basically where Andy's face is going to be.
Yeah, what Enzo said is, you could call Big Cass Woody because he'll have Andy tattooed on the bottom of his foot.
Yeah, when he said that, I'm just like, that was absolutely great.
That shit's fucking great.
Obviously, you guys probably don't follow me on Twitter, but you should. Because I said anyone else catch a second reference because Big Cass was on Up, Up, Down, Down and actually played Toy Story.
Yeah, it was good times.
Yeah, so that to me, it was so small. It was such a small thing, but I'm like, did anybody else catch that, or was that just me?
Gallows and Anderson had a really hard time moving Enzo around the ring.
I mean, when Michael calls him a chihuahua, I mean, you're basically right. He is.
Yeah.
Like, he's scrappy dude, for fuck's sakes.
He's a small dude.
He's scrappy dude. What it is.
But yeah, you know, they take Big Cass out of the match. Enzo starts to hype up, but he takes a fucking big boot from Gallows and dies. He dies in the middle of the ring.
With the Magic Killer.
The Magic Killer was overkill. The Magic Overkill is what I'm gonna call it.
Well, in my opinion, like, I still love that name as a fucking finisher name.
Oh, the Magic Killer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good.
Like, just gonna put this out there. If Enzo and not Enzo and Cass,
Gallows and Anderson?
If Big Gal and Andy ever get a title shot against the New Day, I kind of hope that it's Xavier Woods in the match, and I kind of hope that it's the Magic Killer that wins it just because of the Shining Wizard thing.
Oh, you kind of right.
Yeah.
He's also the Bard. He's the Bard of the group.
Yep.
Because he did mention that in one of his matches.
Yep.
So yeah, no complaints. Just really fucking good match. Again, I love to rant when WWE does stupid shit. And don't worry, there's a rant coming.
Oh, well, there.
There's a rant coming.
Oh, yeah.
Most of this pay-per-view, it's just really fucking good.
It was a good pay-per-view.
WWE Network just to watch this fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah, like, it was really good. Anything else?
Do you want to talk about how much you can get the WWE Network for?
$9.99 or free for the first month.
Yeah, it's free for the first month. If you guys don't like it, fuck right off.
Anything else?
No, go ahead.
3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Oh, again, it was like a subpar match. It was just like, could have blown off so much better. But I mean,
3.5 out of 5, I'd give it personally.
Yeah, I actually surprisingly didn't do any half marks.
I thought it was better than the Bayley Dana match.
Yeah, okay. And now, the second Hell in a Cell match.
Yes.
For the Universal Championship, meaning that the Women's Championship match is the main event. The main event.
The main event.
The main squared event.
Yes.
Which is Kevin Owens versus Seth freaking Rollins, which I love the fact that that's on his Titantron.
What, Seth freaking Rollins?
Yes, it's on his Titantron. I love it.
I didn't see that. That's actually really cool.
Yeah. It's not on like the bigger part, but it's on like that small strip.
So, yeah, go ahead and talk about this one.
So the first thing that I want to mention is, I'm just going to go down in like order for what I have here, is the headbutt near the beginning of the match where they're at like the ramp side part of the cage.
Yeah.
Or the cell, because it's not a cage, it's a cell.
Right.
Like, that headbutt looked like that should have cut somebody open. That was a hard headbutt.
Yeah.
Like, that was a metal concert headbanging headbutt.
No, when Rusev hits people, it looks like it kills.
Yeah. Do you want to add something else, or do you want me to go on to my next point?
I'd like to state Kira's Law of Tables, if I can.
You can. Well, that comes a bit later on, but yeah.
I just want to state it for the record, that way we all know that it's a rule, and we can move on with our lives. Kira's Law of Tables, he who sets up the table is doomed to go through it.
Yep.
And almost always this law is proven to be true.
Yes. So the next point I have written on, which it made me like cringe and shiver. It was such a small thing, but it looked way too painful, was when Seth Rollins was on all fours and Kevin Owens gave him a senton to the back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, ow, 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 cringe.
They
Yeah.
know how to perfectly land those, too. Like,
Yeah, like mid-back, like perfect landing.
and, yeah, it looked absolutely like a total shit show.
Yeah. Also, so I don't forget, I just saw my Twitter again. I put on Twitter when Rollins was actually coming out in his intro. I just like how Rollins still wears Shield-esque gear, just made out of spandex and polyester instead of leather.
Yeah.
Like it has like this almost the same design and it's like the same feel to it, and still sleeveless. It's just polyester and spandex instead of leather.
Yeah, it's kind of like Roman Reigns still kind of wears his Shield gear as well.
He basically still does. Like that is his Shield gear, just with the star.
It's not a flak jacket anymore.
Yeah, and it has the 2 R's on it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And then the counters happen.
there's something I want to mention before the counters.
Oh, okay.
Again, a very small thing, but it's when I forgot who threw who. I think it was Kevin that threw Rollins, because I doubt Rollins can pick up Kevin and do this to him. But he basically like threw Rollins into the cell like a missile.
Oh, yeah, through the second rope into the cell?
Yeah, like head first, just.
Oh, yeah, that fucking looked like it smarts.
I'm just like, oh shit, dude, you're gonna hurt me.
Now can we talk about the counters?
Oh my god, the counters.
Oh my god, so Seth Rollins counters a pop-up powerbomb into like 6 different counters.
And
These
it was
guys
like,
are amazing.
yeah, it was like pop-up power gone. Pedigree? No. This? No. Pedigree again? No. It's like a gut kick to like another powerbomb? No. Super kick? There. Nope, not done yet. It's like, what?
Yeah, it was like super kick into like.
I forgot how it ended. Like, I forgot how the counters ended, but it was just.
It was a clothesline. It was a clothesline by Kevin Owens.
Yeah, but it was still just absolutely.
That was some pro wrestling gorilla shit.
Yeah, like that had to make so much practice.
Yeah, and they're just both so good.
Yeah, I will preemphasize this. I don't like Kevin Owens as a mic man. Like I hate cockiness and I hate arrogance. I'll constantly say it.
Of course.
Both these two men carry that with them on their mic skills. But if you basically put them on mute and just like watch them wrestle, both phenomenal. Absolutely nothing to hate against their wrestling tactics and their wrestling skills.
So, later on in the match, there's already a table set up by Roman Reigns. Or not Roman Reigns.
Owens.
Seth Rollins.
Seth set up the first one?
Seth set up the first one.
Because Kevin gave that weird-ass look. Right.
Yeah, that was the first time I set up Kira's Law of Tables.
Right.
Then, Kevin sets up a table diagonally facing the ring, leaned up against the cell, over top the table Seth set up.
Yep.
Which means he reversed Kira's Law of Tables, because he's the one that set up now the double tables.
Yeah, so it's like, who goes through?
Well, I'll tell you who goes through.
Oh, I know who goes through. I have it.
I will tell you, meaning the audience,
Fine.
who goes through. Kevin Owens proves that Kira's Law of Tables, thus it was said, and thus it shall be. He goes through both tables in a powerbomb spot, landed beautifully, and it looked amazing.
It looked amazing and it looked gruesome. It was just like, holy fuck.
It was just great.
But right before that happened, quite literally, I think it was, because Jericho got into the cage. We didn't mention this.
No, we didn't.
but Jericho got through the cage because a fire extinguisher was used on a ref, which I'm not going to go into my science fact that I have on Twitter there. So Jericho gets into the cave and starts, being Jericho, best friend Kevin Owens, fucking around with the match. So I put on Twitter, I'm like, Jericho through the table, anyone? And quite like 15 seconds later, or not, as Kevin Owens is basically lifeless on the floor in a rubble of fucking table.
Yeah, no, just,
Holy shit.
yeah, just amazing all the way through. Incredible match.
Yeah. I actually also have written down actually a Hell in a Cell match. Because they used everything.
Yeah, they did. They used the cell so many different times. They used weapons, they used tables, they just gave each other actual hell.
Yeah, it was, well, I'll say now 5 out of 5.
That's a 5 out of 5 match. Kevin Owens goes over, which is good, because that's who should go over.
Yep. And, anything else you want to mention?
No. I think that's good.
I have one more thing.
Okay.
So, after the match, Jericho's still in the ring, still, like, yay, look, my buddy won, blah, blah, blah. And right before they leave, he runs back into the ring and gives Rollins a codebreaker. That would have been fine. That would have been fine. Except this one, to me, looked a bit different than previous codebreakers because he didn't let go of the back of the head, which usually, allows the other person, like, spring off and, like, not get, like, as much damage.
Yeah.
It was like a close-in, just, like, it looked so much more painful, basically, is what I'm trying to get at. It looked like so much more solid and, like, pain and ouch. Now I'm good.
So we're moving on.
See, the match you get to enter the Warriors.
Yeah, sure. Okay, whatever the fuck you just said.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Cruiserweight Championship of the World match between T.J. Dab.
The Duke of Dab.
The Duke of Dab, T.J. Perkins, this gaming nerd, I love this guy, versus the Brian Kendrick, showing all the heels how it's done.
Yes, and should I say what I put on Twitter, like, early on, like, in the pre-show?
If you want, yeah, I don't know what that is.
So, very early on, actually, no, you liked it, I think. Very, very early on in the pre-show, they had a backstage segment with Kendrick and Perkins, where Kendrick was like, dude, come on, let me win, blah, blah, whatever. So I put on Twitter, I'm like, this week on Total Drama, Kendrick continues to try to talk to Perkins about old times. Will change his mind, find out next week.
Oh yeah, I said you won Twitter with that one.
Yes.
Fucking, yeah, that's fucking great.
Like, come on, dude, don't even.
So this was like a 2.5 out of 5 match.
I gave it a 3.
I don't think it was good. I don't think it was bad. I think it happened.
Well, I gave it a 3 because, as I've mentioned, like, I'm still fresh into the cruiserweightness.
Yeah.
So I actually have 5 notes here for this match, which, if you have nothing special, I can just run through these super quick.
I only have 1 point I want to make, but I can make it after.
Alright, so the first thing, this is the first time I've ever actually seen TJ Perkins' intro. Like, the Titantron and the rap and everything.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, that's amazing.
He's so great.
The second thing I want to mention is, like, the tape handcuff. Which I think maybe that's where you want to make your point.
That is where I want to make my point.
It was kind of ingenious, because they're like, oh, is that even allowed? And the guy's like, oh, yeah, it's part of his fucking ring attire. Nothing wrong. I'm just like, yeah, basically. They could have done so much more with it, though.
What was the plan?
Yeah, like, what was that supposed to do?
What was your plan there, Kendrick? Like, okay, someone could say, well, that would keep him on the outside, but that was immediately disproven when he just slides back in the ring.
Yeah.
His hands handcuffed. How are you putting his shoulders to the mat?
Yeah, like how you, especially that close. See, like that's easy ring escape. His hand's already on the rope.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like, how are you putting his shoulders on the mat? And also, if you're gonna lock in the bully choke, I refuse to call it the other fucking thing.
The
captain's hook.
Yes.
Because that's stupid.
Yes.
But when he, if he locks in the bully choke, his hand is fucking taped to the ring ropes. You have to let go of the move.
Yeah. And another thing I want to mention, which I didn't put in my notes, but I put it on Twitter. Yay. TJ Perkins goes for like the diving drop kick to the back of the head. Uh-huh. Except he kind of hits Kendrick's shoulder area instead of the head. So put right back to the head. Sorry, Michael. He hit the shoulder, not the head. At least from that camera angle, he hit the shoulder. So 2 times. Or now 3.
3
Michael
times.
Cole has fucked up. In one pay-per-view.
So,
and I have more.
Yeah, okay, so go ahead.
Sorry, do you want to throw something?
I was just going to say this fucking match is not good enough for all these notes.
Okay, I'll run through the next few. I think that TJ Perkins could be called a show-off instead of Dolph Ziggler.
Maybe.
Because, like, basically when he sits there, like, daintily between the 2 ropes, and he's just like, yeah, sup? And then just the guy comes running at him and just drops. He's like, man. He's basically like a cock tease. And also, this is my first time seeing a detonation kick. Holy fuck, that move looks insane.
That detonation kick, is fucking amazing.
And then, of course, the red herring injury.
Oh my god. Okay, so here's where I'm coming into effect.
Yep, and I was waiting for this.
So, Brian Kendrick goes down on his knee.
It did kind of look a bit.
Yeah, I mean, like, fucking, TJ Perkins was going after the knee, kind of setting him up for that knee bar.
Right.
He even locked in the knee bar, and Kendrick had to get to the ropes, so obviously his knee is injured.
Right.
The ref is coming up to him going, like, do you want me to stop the match? Do you want me to stop the match? Okay, first off, the minute he says no, the match continues.
Yeah, like, you can't sit there and be like, are you sure?
No, are you sure? I'm going to sit here for another 45 seconds. Are you sure? Are you sure? Yeah. Come on, I could end this match and you could lose. Are you sure you don't want to lose? Because you could lose.
Yeah.
Like, no, he said he doesn't. He wants the match to continue. He can still talk.
Yeah.
And so, of course, Perkins gets off the top rope, and he's like going in to check on him, and the ref is like, no, don't you come near him. You can't be hitting him. And he's like, no, I'm not hitting him. I'm just coming to check on him.
And then gets pushed away. Continue on with the do you want to stop? No. Approaches him a second time.
This goes for way too fucking long.
Yeah, they milked that way too much.
For a very, very obvious playing possum spot.
Yeah.
And like the minute he went down to the injury, I was like, he's playing possum. No shit, it's Brian Kendrick.
Yeah. Like, you're not going to lay down for me. I'm going to play possum.
Yeah, like you're, for someone who claims to have Brian Kendrick as his mentor, clearly you haven't watched any of his fucking matches.
Right.
This is not the first time he's done this.
Yeah.
And so he does. He gets the headbutt on him. He locks in the bully choke, and TJ Perkins taps out.
Yeah.
So
stupidly.
It was the wrong outcome. TJ Perkins should not have lost his title this early.
Uh-huh.
You got to build TJ Perkins to be this guy to beat, and he wasn't the guy to beat.
Anything else?
I get that it was a wind-down match.
Yeah, it was. After that, it was just like, it was a cool down.
But, it was really, really lame.
And this week on Total Divas, Sheamus and Cesaro continue to bicker. Nothing new.
Yeah, the New Day come out first because they're the champions, and fuck tradition.
Yeah.
And I made sure everybody knew in the beginning that if Cesaro and Sheamus lose this match, their best of 7 was worth nothing, and they have no reason to be a team anymore.
Yeah.
JoJo on the mic says that this match is for the champions, not for the championship.
Nope, for the champions.
So the winners win the New Day, apparently, and I'm not. There's so many jokes I could make about 2 white men going into the ring.
No.
In order to win 3 black men, but
stop.
I think I'm just going to leave that for the comments section.
Oh my god, no.
But thank you, JoJo, for throwing your fellow black men underneath the bus.
God.
Underneath the back of the bus.
No.
Fuck, I'm sorry. That was one joke.
No.
That was one joke.
Oh my god, no.
This match it was okay.
Shit. No, this is actually my lowest rated match.
Yeah, I put it on par with Kendrick and Perkins.
So, I only have 2 things. Well, like 1.5 things about this match that I decided that. Actually, no, technically 3 because of Twitter. So I forgot who it was, but they mentioned that Big E has 23-inch arms.
Right.
What do you mean by 23-inch arms? Is that supposed to be like muscle mass around his bicep/tricep? Like if you measure it that way around, is it 23 inches, or is it like shoulder to fingertip 23 inches?
I think it's supposed to be like measure around the bicep.
I hope to God it is. Because fun fact into my life, if it was supposed to be shoulder to fingertip, my arms are 28 inches long each. Do the math. That's a shit ton longer than Big E's.
I mean, well, Big E, to be fair, is stubby and very strong.
True. And another thing is, it's apparently tonight is the night of flashbacks. Because in the pre-show, Booker T reminded Jerry Lawler of his heart attack. Good job, Booker T. Shucky fucky.
GG Booker. Shucky fucky.
And now in the middle of this match, they were talking about Sheamus and like past tag team experience, and all of a sudden the League of Nations gets called back. Like, hey, look, you remember about like the League of Nations? It's like, oh my god, what are you doing?
Notice how they mention the League of Nations, but they won't mention Barrett or Del Rio.
Yeah,
because
like,
Barrett's off fighting in the Indies, and Del Rio's off fucking Page.
Yep, which GG.
GG to Del Rio, my dude.
And like the only thing that I really have to say for this match is I'm impressed with Xavier Woods for taking out both Sheamus and Cesaro like with kicks and then like a 3/4 ring diving elbow.
Yeah, no, Xavier Woods actually is a crazy amazing wrestler.
Yeah, and they don't give him. He's a punching bag, but like he has a moment where he sparks up and does something like that. I'm like, dude.
I actually watched him when he was in TNA under the name Consequences Creed.
Right.
And he was in a tag team with Jay Lethal as Lethal Consequences.
That's kind of hype.
It was really hype because they're both really good. And they were part of TNA's X Division, which is basically the Cruiserweights. And they're just so good. Like, fucking Xavier Woods is just a really cool guy. He's a gamer. He runs a Let's Play channel, which, of course, I can sympathize with. And I just feel like if I met him, he would be a really cool dude. Like, you could just game with him.
Oh, yeah, easy. So, the only thing I have left in this match to say is shitty ending.
Yeah, the ending was shitty. Midway through the match, like, Sheamus broke kicks Cesaro accidentally. Cesaro sells it like death.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, just unable to move or do anything. And, yeah, it was just really shit, because Cesaro, he takes Francesca, and or Francesca 2, sorry, rest in peace, Francesca 1.
Right.
And he starts striking down people, and he strikes down Big E, and then Kofi Kingston hits him with Trouble in Paradise, because he goes to strike Kofi Kingston. The ref sees it. The ref does not see Xavier Woods tapping out to Cesaro's sharpshooter.
Nope.
Instead, Cesaro and Sheamus win by disqualification.
Guess what that means?
Which means they have a reason for a rematch. New Day looks good. Cesaro looks good. So I don't mind the finish, but the match wasn't the caliber of match it could have been.
Yeah. So before you get to introduce the last match, lucky you.
Oh yeah.
They went to another promo of the main event, which is the Women's Championship match. Obviously, if you haven't got to that point yet. And here's a little personal bone that I have. Of course, like I said, an amazing promo. It's an amazing promo. Though it's on the Lifetime thing and everything. And I know Charlotte's a heel, but I just have to round down like what it is specifically about Charlotte that I absolutely fucking hate. It's the amount of bitch that she is. You can be a bitch, because you know you're a heel, you're a woman, be a bitch. But it's the amount of bitch that you are. It's just like, oh my god. Like when Mick Foley was having quote unquote flashbacks, and she was just there like, hello, like I know you're missing an ear.
Yeah.
It's like
okay,
no.
I get that Charlotte's a heel and I get that Jericho's a heel. You guys do realize that Mick Foley can fire you, right?
Yeah, like shut your fucking face.
He's the general manager of SmackDown or Raw. He owns the fucking roster.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't even get it.
And now you can introduce the match, then I have something other quick to say before we get into what happened.
So the match that is going to be your main event...
The main squared event.
The main squared event is the Hell in a Cell, the very first ever women's Hell in a Cell match. Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the WWE Raw Women's Championship.
Yes. And both their entrances were hype.
They were, oh my god, they were so on point. Charlotte comes in on a throne, like an Egyptian-style throne, being carried in by like 4 burly men.
Yeah, which I'm like, good god, you're really milking the whole queen thing, but ugh.
Oh my god, it's so heelish and I love it.
Yeah.
Sasha rolls
comes out of an Escalade.
In a fucking Escalade, comes through the roof, like very, very Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, great.
It's just absolutely amazing. The crowd is hot as fuck for Sasha because they're in her hometown of Boston, Massachusetts.
Yep. But then I point something out in the middle of Sasha's entrance on Twitter. I want a TJ Perkins and Sasha Banks theme song mashup.
Which, to be fair, have you tried looking it up on Google and seeing if it's there?
No, I haven't, but I think like if it's done right, it can be fucking mind blasting.
It would be really cool.
Anyways, do you want to start with what happened at the very beginning of the match, or something that happened right before that happened?
We're gonna start with what happened before the match.
Oh, do you know what I'm talking about then?
We're talking about the blind side, right?
I'm talking right before that.
Oh, you're talking about the fear.
I'm talking right before that too.
You're talking about they breathed? What happened?
Charlotte got booed more than Roman Reigns.
Yeah, okay.
It was great.
So here's the thing,
loved
though.
it.
Like, in there, you don't have as big a point as you think you do.
It was a louder boo then.
It was a louder boo than Roman Reigns, but it wasn't for character reasons. Like, it wasn't that they hated Charlotte more than they hate Roman Reigns.
I know, it was a whole hometown thing. Like,
it was a hometown thing, yeah.
I put it on Twitter. It's there on Twitter. I said, yo, Charlotte got booed more than Reigns. I know it's Sasha's hometown, but still. Like, it was just like, ha! Someone got booed more than Reigns. That never happens.
So the cell starts to lower, and these girls look, by the way, fucking terrified.
Yeah, like
I think when the cell started lowering, like that's when it hit them.
Like you see Charlotte's face, she's like, "Yeah, I'm a bitch. I'm a bot. Like nothing can touch me." She looks up and she's like, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah, that thing can touch me. That thing can touch me a lot.
Yeah, she's like, "That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt." God.
So as they're both looking up towards the cage, Sasha's blindsided by Charlotte, who throws her to the outside. I thought the ceiling was going to come down and just decapitate her.
So did I, actually.
But they stop the cage, and they
both go to the outside.
The cage. They fight in the crowd a little bit to allow the cage to fully come down. Yep. They start to climb the cage, and here I am thinking they're going to go to the top of the fucking cage already.
That's what I thought too, to be honest. I'm just like, oh, no, let's not.
But Charlotte drops down and catches Sasha in mid-climb and power bombs her through the announce table.
Which didn't give out fully.
It didn't give out fully. Not at first.
Not at first. It did after. From, like, I guess the vibration of the impact.
But, yeah, no, that looked horrible.
Yeah. Like,
and then it started to clue into me. And for the first time in this pay-per-view, I became fucking furious. So,
here's the rant. There, I give the warning.
Sasha Banks is on the floor and she is clutching her back. Her back is injured and the refs are looking to stop the match, but Sasha's trying to pull them off while, Charlotte mocks her. And, yeah, you guys are getting it already, aren't you? You're fucking getting it already because it's fucking easy to see. They're turning her into Mick Foley.
Yep, even the Bang Bang.
They're trying to recreate Mick Foley versus fucking Undertaker at, I believe it was Survivor Series 90-something.
90 whatever.
Now
97.
Here's the difference. There's actually two major differences in this. Number one, The Undertaker wasn't sitting back going, I killed him, I fucking wrecked him, blah, blah, blah. He was sitting there looking like The Undertaker, and he was fucking scared. Legitimately, he was scared. He thought he had killed him.
Yeah, he sat there, he's like, well, fuck.
And the reason for this was because of the second difference. Mick Foley's injuries were real.
Yeah.
He had a fractured spine. He had a tooth shoved up his nose. He had a broken arm. His fucking injuries were real. He didn't get power bombed from a little bit off the ground through the table. He got thrown off the cell through the table. People have been power bombed through tables before and continued the match. If you want to make your women look tough and like they can main event with the rest of the boys, having one be put on the shelf from one power bomb is not helping. And it's so obviously fucking fake. So here's the thing. Here's a little insight into what happens in the wacky world of wrestling. A paramedic or a referee, when they're calling for a paramedic, will often put their hands up in a cross formation. Think, like D-Generation X. They would make the X above their head. And what that means is that this is real. This is 100% real. This person is hurt. We need you now.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Nope.
Secondly, if the person was legitimately injured and real, they wouldn't have had a segment where she's walking around the side of the cage and she's trying to get back into the ring, but she collapses again.
Yeah.
This is so obviously fake, it literally took me out of the match.
Yes. Can I throw in my couple cents?
Go for it.
So, one thing I did like about that little part, aside from the fact, like, it did look slightly real to the fact, I'm not going to say an injury, but it was one of those, like, ow, that's going to hurt for like 10, 15 minutes, but I'll be back type of thing. Like, that could have been, like, the worst it would have been, like, ow, that actually hurts, but, like, get over in 20 minutes type of pain. But the one thing I did absolutely love is when it first happened, and it first kind of looked real for that first little bit. Which, you cannot lie, even you were like, fuck.
It looked like it hurt, but I knew she wasn't injured.
Like, injured at least, as I put it.
I knew she wasn't injured at all. I knew she was probably in pain, but if Sasha's too fragile to take that bump, don't take the bump.
Right. So, a thing I put on Twitter is, once again, going from WWE's perspective, like, oh my god, she's actually hurt, is Charlotte tries to get closer to her, basically being the heel bitch she is, and the ref basically gets it in her face and basically chest bumps her back almost. Which I'm like, you never see that.
Yeah.
Never. So I literally put on Twitter, I'm like, thank you, ref, for like nearly actually pushing away Charlotte away physically. Like,
yeah,
they're
like
saying,
that is the thing, is like that was what made it look kind of real.
Yeah, it's like literally like, get the fuck away from her.
Yeah, the ref is like literally pushing Charlotte away. But here's the thing, Charlotte is doing everything she can to not make this look real.
Yeah, Charlotte is what killed it.
Charlotte is what killed it, because she was completely in character the whole time.
Yep.
She was like, oh, ha. Like, it's very clear you're planning on doing the Mick Foley spot. And that's an insult to Foley Taker.
Yeah. Now, let's get to what actually happens.
Yeah. I apologize, by the way, if anybody can hear Backstreet Boys blaring in my house. Apparently, my grandpa has no idea what volume control is.
I mean, at least it's Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, no, it definitely is Backstreet Boys. It's I Want It That Way.
Yeah, I can hear it. It's great.
Oh my god, I don't want to get copyright claimed. That's the thing.
It's very, very faint.
It's very faint, but I really don't want to get copyright claimed.
Oh, well, we'll just have to talk a bit louder. Yay!
No, hold on a second. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Just entertain the masses while I leave my room for a second.
Okay, so I'm going to basically run down what happened. So they get a stretcher, and they're trying to make Sasha get out of the ring via stretcher. So JoJo's there at ringside saying, it's your new women's champion. And right when those words are said, Sasha gets like a burst of energy, quote unquote, like rolls off the stretcher, beats the crap out of two of the medics, and like runs into the cage and like slams it shut. And basically says, lock it, I'm not done. Like, I'm not finished yet. And then, of course, Charlotte's there like, oh my god, what the hell, I thought you were dead. That's when see, if Charlotte pulled off that character the entire time, it would have been more believable. And welcome back.
Hi, thank you.
See, my timing is impeccable.
And thus the match begins.
Now, I want to point this out, because well, you probably noticed it, but I actually wrote it down. The second the match begun, Charlotte instantly changed.
Yeah, she did. She turned into very desperate.
She went from, I'm on top of the world, I'm the women's champion, what now, bitch, to, oh my god, please get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Which, or as I put on Twitter, aw, the pretty princess realizes she's locked in with the boss.
So, Kira's Law of Tables strikes again.
Yay.
Because Charlotte goes ahead and pulls out a table.
Oh god, you're already going to there?
Well, yeah, because the power change doesn't happen until afterwards. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
No, power change happens before.
Does it really talk about the power change?
Well, there's something I want to put before what started the power change. So, first off, Charlotte does this monkey flip to Sasha into the steel cage, or cell, not a cage, cell.
Cell.
Ugh. They're both made out of metal. They both have chain links. Whatever.
Yeah.
And the first one, it looked insane. So, fast forward a little bit. She goes for it again, but this time Sasha catches herself and like monkey hangs onto it. And as Charlotte's getting up and turning around, Sasha goes for like a diving double knee, as she does
the
usually.
Spider Sasha moment.
Yeah, the Spider Woman moment, which looked absolutely amazing.
It did. It looked really, really cool.
And thus the power shift begins.
Yeah, there's a lot of double knees. Double knees to the chest, into the cage. Sasha's seated, so she double knees her in the chest again.
Yeah, like there were so many double knees, and they were all absolutely amazing.
You've got, like...
a third callback of the night.
Yeah, the third callback of the night, which is when Sasha Banks starts to do the Three Amigos.
Yep, or as King Nappy put it, the Three Amigas.
The Three Amigas, which is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
She goes for the frog splash, and she hits it, but Charlotte kicks out.
Yep.
And then Charlotte gains a little bit of an upper hand and goes to set up a table on the outside. In fact, exactly where the table was set up for the Seth Rollins powerbomb spot.
Yeah, quite literally, exactly. And there's something else I want to kind of chime in and poke fun at. Because I believe this happened prior to that, is the backbreaker on the chair to Charlotte, or to Sasha.
Oh, yeah, the double knee stomp in the corner.
I think it was pre-power shift. Like, I think this was pretty early on. Either way, so you know what a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker is, right? Right.
Yeah.
Everybody knows. So, Charlotte does one of those to Sasha onto a chair that's in the middle of the ring, that's in a sitting position. But instead of going, like, vertically spinning, she does, like, a horizontal spinning. So I decided to call that a merry-go-round backbreaker.
Hey, GG.
Thank you.
She also has the double knees in the corner that she sets the chair up underneath her, which I actually thought is really cool because a lot of people... Rob Van Dam was really fucking bad for this. He would do Rolling Thunder onto an opponent with a chair on top of them.
Yep.
Which all that is doing is sending your back into the fucking chair.
Yeah. And then adding that little bit of extra pressure. That's about it.
You're adding a little bit of extra pressure to like their moves, and they're going to hurt more, but you're also going to hurt more. But
yes.
Sasha was smart. She put the chair underneath Charlotte and did the double knees. Looked great.
Yes.
Sets at the table, goes to superplex Sasha Banks through the table, which I knew that spot wasn't fucking happening. A bunch of people, including Nappy. Nappy, I love you, dude, but you've got to watch more matches than this, my dude.
Yeah, my dude.
There's no way that superplex spot
is going to work.
There's no room.
Yeah, no.
You know, you wouldn't have even gone through the table. You'd have dinged off the cell wall, twisted, you'd have broken your fucking neck.
Yes.
So...
it was a dainty crash.
It was the fucking schoolgirl push to the chest. Like, what did you say about my mom kind of push.
Yeah.
And Charlotte goes down, I guess she might have been supposed to fall onto the table, but instead, like, she broke it, kinda?
Yeah, it was I even put on Twitter, I'm like, such a dainty crash through the table. I guess it wasn't set up, because it looked like the back legs just gave out and just went wee.
The back legs gave up, it cracked a little bit in the center.
Yeah.
Just, like, it wasn't really nice.
But then I put on Twitter as well, which I'm going to point out now before I forget, is that Charlotte kind of reminds me of Chris Crocker. If you don't know who that is the Leave Britney Alone person. Yeah, that person, but ugly.
And he's not a very good-looking guy to begin with.
No. Which now I believe is female, actually. I believe that happened too. I don't remember. But yeah, like, I don't find Charlotte attractive in any manner of the way.
No, I'd rather fuck Dana Brooke.
I mean, yeah, actually, legit.
Charlotte obviously doesn't learn from the previous time and sets up another table.
Yep. But something... Oh, wait, yeah, never mind.
And they go to have a spot in the where she's going to do her moonsault onto Charlotte through the table, which, by the way, would have been a really cool spot and a really great way to end the match if you were going to have Charlotte fucking win.
Right.
Like, that would have been a really great way to do it, but instead, Sasha counters, leaving her, like, sitting on the ropes. She repositions the table kind of on the turnbuckle, but really badly.
Yeah.
Like, it's elevated ever so slightly.
It's sloped.
Yeah.
It's lightly inclined.
Like, yeah, like, all it did was serve for a really funny spot later on.
Yeah.
But
which led to the end of the match.
A running buckle bomb through a table, which I was thinking, fucking Charlotte is done.
Yeah.
If that happens.
And back gives out.
And the back gives out. So, okay, that's fine. Charlotte, like, tosses her onto the table. Table doesn't break. She picks Sasha back up, turns around, throws her back at the table. Table doesn't break, and she rolls down like a discarded beer bottle.
Yeah.
Like, it was just the funniest thing.
Something happened before Sasha repositioned the table. Is right after the failed moonsault attempt. Charlotte locks in the figure 8. And, like, Sasha's there, like, halfway underneath the table, which is a very interesting position, because you're like, how the hell can you really move much when you're underneath the table? But she grabs a chair that she used prior, and actually, like, gets out of the figure 8 by bashing the chair into Charlotte's midsection, which actually I loved.
That was actually really cool, because Charlotte's whole midsection is exposed during the figure 8.
Yeah, like, that is a great chair. Like, that was a great chair shot, a great way to counter it.
And then, yeah, Charlotte gets natural selection, and she beats Sasha Banks in her hometown, takes the title, continues her pay-per-view winning streak.
Yep.
This was the wrong thing to do.
Yep.
If WWE couldn't tell by the fact that there weren't even boos.
Yeah, it was just silence.
It was silence. And it wasn't even like Undertaker-Lesnar silence, because you could hear people, but they were basically just like,
what the fuck?
For fuck's sake, guys, let's just go home and beat traffic.
Yeah. So there was a couple things I put on Twitter. Literally, I remember the timing exactly. Like 1 minute before the match ends, I'm like, can we get a bank statement in the rubble of a table for an ending? That would be hype. Like, the table breaks, and then Sasha puts her in a bank statement in, like, the middle of the crumbled table. Would have been awesome. 15 seconds later, fucking natural selection done. I retweeted, never mind. Like, god damn that ending.
This match could have been so much better.
Yeah. And
if they didn't try and turn Sasha Banks into Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Then this match could have started off really well. You could have even kept the powerbomb spot.
Yeah.
Because the powerbomb spot was really cool. But have that happen during the match.
Exactly. Like, that part just completely fucked it.
You know, bring them to the outside, because when you see someone go from the inside of the cell to the outside of the cell, you know shit's about to go down.
Yes. And, so, obviously, as we mentioned before, King Nappy is also live tweeting the entire event. And after this match ends, he goes on a little bit of a rant. And one of the things he says is like, come on, all of this with the match stipulation, and they still have her drop the belt in their fucking hometown. What the fuck? Which, I decided to add on to that. I'm like, I don't even think heel heat can be a legit enough answer to why they did it. Like, I agree with him 100%. Hell in a Cell came to a shit end from that after so much hype.
It was just lame. Like, that was my tweet, so that was lame.
Yeah.
It was just really lame. You know, we had a lot of really good spots in this match. Nobody botched.
Yeah.
It's just... The
You
ending
know,
to that was horrible. The table spots were just cringy to watch.
and then I did put on Twitter halfway through the match that every time Charlotte faces Sasha, Sasha's back looks like it bends in half. Where's JR when you need him?
Like, here's the thing. If Sasha... I'm going to repeat this again, just in case any WWE execs are listening. But if Sasha and Charlotte can't take the bumps, don't
give them the bumps.
schedule the bumps. There's other things you can do with the cell. The monkey flip, for instance, was fucking really cool. The Spider Sasha moment was great. But if they can't go through tables, I'll be honest, we can do a Hell in a Cell match without tables. Maybe you should have had them use the steps.
I mean, they did use the steps very, very painfully.
They did, but maybe they could have used the steps more. Maybe she could have natural selectioned her onto the steps.
Ow! But yes.
You know, like, it's the figure eight, right? Why not do the figure eight on the steps, over the edge of the steps, that's like shoving the edge of the steps into her legs as she's doing the figure eight?
Yeah. Now, there's something I also want to throw into this as well, is even though how it happened and everything, like how the match went and how the match began, I actually still gave this match 5 out of 5.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't do that.
Because though the beginning, as much as you hate it, and like, yes, it was a bad beginning, like the actual inside of the cell match, like
5 out of 5 is perfect.
I know.
And this match wasn't perfect. Like, we both just talked about it.
I go from bell to bell. That's what I call match.
But you can't do that. Not
it's
when...
what I do.
But what you do is dumb.
Whatever, that's me.
Like, because there's no way that you can ignore...
I'm not ignoring it. I'm not including it in my rating. I'm not ignoring it.
And again, what about the table spots?
Could have been better, but they were still pretty fine.
So how do you do better? Like, let's say they did it better. Would they get, like, a 6 out of 5?
Okay, whatever. Overall, the pay-per-view gave me a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I definitely rate it a little bit higher than that. Personally, I'd give it maybe like a 4 or a 4.5 out of 5. I think this is a really damn good pay-per-view. You know, I think that certain matches are worth more than other matches, and those ratings should matter more. That's just me. Really, I didn't like the tag team match. It wasn't great. The Cruiserweight Championship match was alright. Could have been better. And the women's match, there was a lot of really good showing of excellent wrestling skill from both women, but the ending of that match really, really puts a downer on it.
Yeah.
And that is... go ahead.
The reason I say 3.5 out of 5, by the way, is I actually just mathed it. Like, I got the average and everything. I took all the scores, added it together, all that fun shit, rounded it down, and that's what I got.
Okay.
So, you know, it was 7 out of 10, 14 out of 20, and 28 out of 40.
Okay.
So, like, there's a reason why it's 3.5.
Fair enough. So, that is WWE Hell in a Cell 2016, and it gets a glowing recommendation from me.
It was great. Like, aside from the rating that I gave because of math, legit, it was great.
So
definitely one of the best pay-per-views of the year. Like, I'm not even saying just of this year, of the year.
Yeah, like this, it was just really fucking good. I feel like I'm gonna be watching this pay-per-view again in the future when you want to just talk about really good Hell in a Cell matches.
And you're still probably just going to be just as salty.
I am going to be just as salty, because she shouldn't have lost in fucking Boston.
I'm not taking that away from that.
But, yeah, so the show's over, and that's who won. Join us next time for
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series and NXT TakeOver Toronto.
But
But
I remember, let us know if you booked it right.
Yeah, let us know what you guys thought about the pay-per-view, if you guys booked it right, and what you guys want to see coming out of NXT TakeOver Toronto, where me and Craven will be there live.
Yes. So I don't know if we'll still be live tweeting.
Most likely not. I'm at least probably not going to be live tweeting through NXT TakeOver Toronto. I want to be able to watch the match.
Yeah, basically.
But then I'm going to be over at Craven's place, and we're going to be watching Survivor Series and the following Monday Night Raw, so we'll probably live tweet those, maybe.
We'll see.
But until then, the match is over. The house lights have come down.
Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
And it's time to go home. Follow us on Facebook and the Twitters that are not linked in the description. I'm just going to say my Twitter is at the medieval at time for a massacre, numerical 4. And Craven's is at the Craven Gaming.
Yes.
And we will
and
see
my
you guys
Facebook
next
is whatever
time.
the fuck it is.